Okay,
Oh.
wait. Okay, let's start. Red and blue. Let's include
B.
yellow. It's the same. Yellow's the same. Let's include
Yellow's
yellow.
better than red and blue.
I feel
Hot
like
take.
it's not better enough
Hot
to put it up a
take.
whole nother tier.
Hot take. I'd say B. I think there's enough that it introduces to the series, and I can appreciate the people that do find it to be the most genuine Pokemon experience, but it's super lacking in other aspects, and it's their first attempt. You can't expect it to be that good. So I'd say like B.
I think it's C.
Wood.
Really? Reasoning?
Thank you for subscribing, Danger. I think it's C because I think. No, I changed my mind. I change it to B. I do change it to B actually. I was gonna say because like it's super grindy, but at the core, that's what most Pokemon games are. I don't know. Like the first two games are so grindy. Like you have to grind so hard, like so much. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I'm cool with C just because it's their first attempt. If you do want to put it down in C.
Okay, if we put it in C, okay. Whoa, what do you think, Chris?
I think it's B, just because it introduced so much, even if there were flaws.
Okay, Snormax.
I think B, yeah.
Okay, I'm satisfied with B. I'll put it in B. What about Pokemon Yellow?
Keep it in B, but I think it makes improvements.
Yeah,
So like
B,
above
but
it in B.
yeah,
B,
so I'll
but
put
like,
it in front. Yeah,
are we
I think-
ordering these?
Yeah.
I'll order them. Yeah.
I think all three of those are like a low B if you put it in B. Like there might be Bs that are higher.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That being said, the next one is either A or very high B.
I think. Wait, these are original
This
Soul
is-
and Silver. I
Yeah.
mean Soul and
This
Silver.
is-
Original Gold and Silver. I think
Yes.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver are miles better than the original ones.
Right. Yeah, and we'll get to them. But I think my point comparing red and blue to gold and silver, it's an improvement.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'd
Except
say
I feel like late game is way less like it doesn't stand out nearly as much.
yeah,
as
because
the
I mean
first
it's
game.
kind of a repeat, but
I don't know. I feel like the first three games, like Pokemon Yellow and Red and Blue, should be high C, and this should be B.
Sorry, which one are we talking about right now?
gold and silver.
Yeah, I do think.
Hold on.
Well, I think gold and silver go above them on B, even if we keep the others at B.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you put these in B, it's above.
Yeah.
Here, I'll share my screen to make it easier for you guys.
Well, I'm looking at it.
So wait. So what do you guys think of Silver and Gold?
I think it's mid B. So it's above red and blue and yellow.
But you
Yeah.
still want them in B? Just
don't
put
see a
them in
problem with
C
that.
at this point.
Well, we can move stuff around.
Yeah, let's get our
Later.
initial version 1 done.
I think
Okay.
to be honest, like Gen 1, Gen 2 there's differences, but there's so little. It's just a new region. Like I don't know.
Well,
I
feel
don't
like
think
I just feel like the legendaries and like the impact that the legendaries feel. Well, the legendaries in the first game also don't feel super substantial either.
Oh, definitely not. I think they're more substantial in
Yeah, they're really not substantial until like Groudon and Kyogre.
right.
Yeah, Lugia's design is peak. I agree with you, Zig. But
From a story
yeah,
standpoint,
from the
like,
story standpoint, like it's not that
how
deep,
much
you know.
screen time.
Okay, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. I still think that the second gen is better than the first gen, but not by like that insane amount.
I agree.
Okay, I'm satisfied with that.
Mhm.
This is Crystal, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's on the same level as
Yeah. I think I like
I
gold
feel
and
like it's the
silver
exact
better in
same.
general. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it like right below, but like just imagine it's on like the same level.
Yeah, that's fair.
Third gen. Man, I
A.
think these are really good games.
They're really good. They're A.
I think they're A, and I would put Emeralds above them.
Yeah, I'd say A and then Emerald tie A.
Yeah, for sure. Fire Red. Wait, does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Snormax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement. That one was the easiest one. Okay, I
Yeah.
think Fire Red and Leaf Green are also A. I think they're also fire games.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think they're as
league
good as
better.
third gen, but they're so much better than the first gen originals.
Oh yeah. No, and it
Mhm.
like they hold up. Like you can go back and play that or play a ROM hack of Fire Red Leaf Green, and they still hold up
Yeah,
so well.
they definitely. I actually think that they hold up better than the third gen, but the third gen in general is better. Does that make sense?
That's fair. That's fair.
I
Yeah.
Does
didn't play,
everybody? How does everybody
I
feel?
didn't
I enjoy
play
that.
these ones, so I got no opinion.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Okay,
Steno's S.
yeah, but oh my god, why am I forgetting the name of the games? Pearl and
Diamond,
Diamond,
Pearl,
Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl. You really think it's S?
Yes.
What?
you
I mean,
No,
I'm-
dude.
I'm-
It's high
I'm putting-
A.
We're putting platinum in S at least.
Platinum
Yeah.
is S. Platinum is S.
That's fair.
Platinum
I
is
can
one
re-
of the best Pokemon games.
By far,
The
by a
only-
mile, a million. Yeah.
The only problem I have with these games are they are just slow. Like
We're okay.
even with tech speed up, battling is so fucking slow. That's my only problem with it. So I'm fine with Diamond and Pearl A and then Platinum S.
Okay, but I still feel like we need to move all the first gen games down to C. Like,
that's
yes, they're
after we-
iconic games, but
Wait till we've done
Yeah.
round one of the rankings. We don't got to be moving.
okay.
stuff
I
yet.
just feel like this is very unbalanced right now.
It'll get there. There's gonna be a lot in S. I'll tell
Diamond
you.
and Pearl are not. They do not have a bad end game. What are you talking about? A bad end game? Oh, you mean like after completing everything? I guess we're focusing mainly on like story right now, right?
Yeah.
Story and
Yeah,
just
the
like
core
overall
gameplay.
like quality of the game. Okay, high A, platinum is S. Platinum is
Platinum's
so
S.
fucking good. It's so
Mhm.
good. Okay, Heart Gold Soul Silver.
S.
I think
S.
you think it's S?
I
S
love
above
them.
Platinum.
What?
Platinum can suck my big fucking Heart Gold Soul Silver cock. bro.
I agree with that.
You are so blinded by nostalgia right now.
Literally am not. I went back and replayed it like a month ago. It's S all day.
Dude, the way
The
you go about
story-
getting the
I have a
legendaries is so
playthrough
much
going
worse
on
than
currently.
like how platinum goes about getting Giratina.
I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. What matters is overall story, the amount that you can explore, the amount of stuff that you can collect. The environments are a lot prettier. I like it.
Platinum's like Pokemon, like what's the Pokemon like mini game event thing? Platinum's was better there. I don't think there was a ton. I agree that Heart Gold Soul Silver keeps up with Platinum, but I don't know if it's like above Platinum for sure.
Are
I
you
do
saying
think- I
that
do-
the events in Platinum are better than Heart Gold Soul Silver?
Well,
No
I mean,
shot.
when we're yeah, I think they are.
I do
No
think
way.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver is a much more replayable game than Platinum. I think it's a much more accessible and replayable game because it's pretty much just second gen but good.
Right.
But I think in terms of the actual like game, like playing it for the first time, experiencing the game, the story, like all of that, like Heart Gold and Soul Silver does not have Platinum beat.
Oh, I think no. If you're saying first playthrough, I think Heart Gold Soul Silver sweeps.
Well, I think
everything.
it
Because then you're
includes
talking
everything.
about now you're incorporating the nostalgia. Because in that case, yeah, I think it sweeps. But I think going back and playing games, I think it has more to do and it feels more fleshed out. And it's also you can play. I don't know. For me at least, there's a lot more to do in that than Platinum.
Yeah, but a lot more to do doesn't necessarily mean I enjoyed this
but
game
it's-
more.
And I did because it was a little bit faster. It was prettier. It had a better story, better characters. The development of your rival and his relationship to Team Rocket is something that is unfounded in any other Pokemon
Okay,
game.
yeah, he just changed my mind. He's right. That was insane. I'm on.
That
I'm
is
on Mason's vote.
insane.
Okay, I am
The-
willing.
that
I am
was
100% willing to put Heart Gold, Soul Silver in S, but it's below Platinum.
It's your
Nah,
tier
he
list,
just-
but
Yeah, he just changed my mind though. The storyline of Heart Gold was so.
I
Oh
still
my
think Platinum
God,
is
it was-
better.
yeah, that's nostalgia.
Maybe it is,
I've
but
played
I'm gonna
both.
let it. I'm gonna let it go right through me. I'm gonna let nostalgia fuck my butt.
Okay. Now,
Snormax
here's the
doesn't say
problem.
anything for 10 minutes and then goes,
These next games are going to be a problem because I agree that they're really fucking good, but I don't know where they go.
I think Black and White is high A. I actually think Black and White 2 is much better than Black and White. I think
That's
Black
not
and
a
White
hot
is really
opinion.
good, but Black and White 2 is much better. I would put Black and White in high A below Diamond and Pearl, and Black and White 2 in S above everything else so far. You know what? You're right. Heart Gold and Soul Silver is better than Platinum.
What made you change your mind? What was
Yeah,
that?
just out of left
I'm just
field.
thinking about how Black and White compares to Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Platinum. And
Uh-huh.
and I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver I enjoyed more as a whole than
Thank you.
all of those games.
Thank you.
But
dude.
I enjoyed Heart Gold and Soul Silver more than Black and White and Black and White 2, but Black and White 2 is a better game. Does that make sense?
There's some aspects just
I
like
put-
visually and like gameplay wise I'm not a huge fan of in Gen 5. But I can understand the argument that people would say that is better than Heart Gold Soul Silver. I can live with that.
Is Black and White better than Diamond and Pearl though?
Oh, that's hard. My
That is
nostalgia wants
tough.
to say no, but I think it is.
I think
My nostalgia
definitively they
wants to
are.
say no too. Everybody in my chat is saying yes, Black and White is much better than Diamond and Pearl. But Diamond and Pearl, oh dude, I'll never forget seeing Arceus for the first time.
Right? Nah, exactly.
Like it is a nostalgia factor. And there's like very little nostalgia factor for Black and White. They're just good games. You know?
Right.
Diamond and Pearl suck ass. You
That's
have
just
to
wrong.
be like 14 years old.
Yeah, smoking crack for sure.
Wait, can we wait. Hold on. Can we rewind on something?
Yeah.
Is your justification for liking Diamond Pearl Platinum about Arceus? Are you fucking me? Really? Because Arceus was an event that you got from Toys R Us and they just gave it to you.
Game
Yeah.
for me.
That wasn't Heart Gold Soul Silver. All of the cool shit that they did with Arceus was Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Oh, was it really?
Yes.
Oh, was it really?
That entire event was Heart Gold Soul Silver. What they did with, because you went to Toys R Us and they like just dropped it to you and gave you the plates.
Yeah,
in
but the video.
Diamond Pearl Platinum. That video is Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
They also
Okay,
gave so
then
much
Black and
love to
White
Heart Gold
clears.
Soul
Then
Silver,
Black and
'cause-
White clears. I still think everything else is in line though. I just think that Black and White clears them. It's better. Dude, okay. I know we'll get back to it. We'll get back to this stuff. You know what? Let's just go to X and Y. Let's leave it as it is, and we'll come back to it after.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Wait, what about X and Y?
X and Y is next. We'll start on X and Y, and we'll get back to
Yeah.
this other stuff later.
Yeah, we can do that.
okay.
Okay. I think X and Y is fucking C tier.
High B.
I think X and Y was the first Pokemon game that I played where I thought to myself, maybe I'm getting too old for Pokemon.
I did the same thing. Well, okay, to be fair, I did that with Black and White too. But when I was playing through, I felt that way because it felt like they were targeting a younger audience. But in terms of like cool shit that you can do, I think it clears Gen 1, Gen 2.
I think the only thing good about X and Y is Yveltal.
Megas, the environments.
Okay, Megas, yeah. Mega's amazing. I think the environments were okay. I don't think they were that crazy.
I
Black
think
and
there's
White
some
2
cool
had
ones.
better environments.
I agree with that. I think it's IB. IMO.
think
I think I would.
probably-
Yeah, I think I would rather play like Fire Red, Leaf Green, but I would not rather play Gold and Silver. Yeah, and there were some
I
sick
think I would
Pokemon
put
designs.
X and Y below Crystal.
I think you're crazy.
You're wild.
You think it's better than
Most definitely.
I think it's better than Gold and Silver.
Talonflame, Greninja,
Yeah,
Aegis
yes, of
Slash.
course there's a lot of great there's a lot of great lines, but I'm thinking about everything here. I'm thinking about the story, I'm thinking about the gameplay. I did
The
love
story was
fairy
kinda dope.
types. Fairy types were awesome, but that doesn't change enough for me to put it above other games.
That's fair, but you're talking about Gold and Silver.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think Heart Gold and
And I
Soul
think
Silver
X
are
and
miles and miles and miles ahead of
Okay,
Gold
I'm
and
not
Silver.
talking about that. I think Gold and Silver sucks ass compared to X and Y. That's my
Really?
thing. Yeah. I think if you go through and you play the game,
only thing that I enjoyed about X and Y was the roller skates, Yveltal. Like I loved the Yveltal encounter. I thought it was so good.
I played X.
I thought
but
it was
yeah.
really good. You missed out because the Yveltal.
Tree
I
of
played
Life
both.
shit was awesome.
I played both, and I thought the Yveltal stuff was way cooler. But that's just because I like the dark brooding Pokemon and like the dark backstories and stuff. But I thought Yveltal was awesome.
I think,
and I liked
yeah,
fairy types. I
got a lot of
I didn't
gripes
care
with
for it transferring to 3D. I didn't care for it when I was younger. I didn't care. It didn't make a
that's fair.
difference for me. You know, it didn't make
That's
the
fair.
games better or worse.
Mhm.
I know
There
they
was a
cut the
lot of
Zygarde
stuff-
story, but we can't focus on the things that they cut. We have to focus on the things
Right.
that were in the game.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of missed opportunity with the game. If I was going to complain anything about it, is that it was slow, it held your hand too much, and there was a lot of stuff that it seemed like they cut. However, looking at that compared to Gold and Silver, I'd play that all day.
Yeah.
I feel like everything is too high.
We can bump stuff down.
Yeah.
Relation to each other, right? And then we can adjust.
Yeah. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Had the best post game in a very long time.
I think it is. I think it's better. I think it's better than Emerald.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't know if that would be too controversial for you guys.
I think it's better than Emerald, and I
think
love Emerald. I have
that's where
like
I'd put it.
a lot of nostalgia in my heart for Emerald because it was the first Pokemon game I ever played.
I think,
but I think
Oras, yeah, I think Oras leads so much. Like you finish the base game, and they basically just took everything from Gen 3, added Megas, added the entire like Rayquaza story with Deoxys, which is insane. The whole Delta episode is so dope. The whole post game where you have the potential to catch every single Pokemon in that game. Like I finished my entire living dex just off of Oras, which is insane. And that's something that you can't, like, even in Sun and Moon, like you had to like trade stuff up from, to make sure you got everything. But yeah, I genuinely think Oras was like one of my best times playing Pokemon ever. That was like when I returned to the series.
Yeah, same. That was same for me. That was the exact same for me. Like X and Y, I did complete X and Y, right? But I thought like this is it. I'm done. Like it's just not satisfying. It's not filling the hole that Pokemon used to fill. And then I played Oras, and I was like, wait, this is actually really good. Wait, it's actually really good.
Dude, the opening when you're like looking at a screen and it's the original Game Boy opening, and then it brings it down and you're in the back of the moving
it's
truck.
so good. It's so good. It is so good. Speaking of openings, random tangent, but what game do you think has the best opening?
Oh, that's hard. I almost want to say like fuck, it's hard. Do you mean opening as in like when you start playing the
No,
game, or
when you
opening
boot up the
open
game. When you boot up the
Okay.
game.
It's got to be one of the DS
I think
ones.
Platinum.
Platinum definitely. I'm having a hard time remembering them, but yeah, I think Platinum's definitely up there. I remember the Heart Gold, like the bell, like the down, down, like that was cool.
Yeah.
It could be Black and White, I think.
Black and White
Black
is a good one too.
The Heart Gold one was cool, but I don't think it's best.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd have to look at them. But
Anyways, yeah. Well, that's a whole different tier list for another day. But anyways, Sun and Moon. I have to be honest. I didn't complete Sun and Moon.
okay,
I did.
I think.
Well, no, I did Ultra. My bad.
I didn't complete Ultra either.
Sun and Moon is when the Pokemon franchise starts doing really, really cool shit that is unbelievable if you're an early player, but they fail in so
Good
many
night, Don.
ways. I loved Sun and Moon. I dropped a ton of time into Sun and Moon. I love the characters. I love the story. I love a lot of the stuff they introduced. But what I don't like is just the pacing. I don't like how a lot of it's all set up. I think it's under. It would fight with Gen 3, in my opinion. I think it's definitely better than X and Y.
Yeah,
for
this one's up
sure.
to you guys because the only opinion I ever had about Sun and Moon was that I really loved the Ultra Bees. I really loved the main title, like the main legendaries. I liked a
Mm.
lot of dialogue that I saw in the game. I thought it was
Mhm.
like more entertaining than like way more entertaining than X and Y and ORS.
I agree.
Right?
Well, I
and
don't know about Oras, but yeah.
and I'm just talking about the dialogue, not like characters as a whole.
Right.
But
That's fair.
and then I hated Z moves.
Yeah, Z moves are kind of silly. But what I also don't mind is that this was an instance which we never. I mean, I guess we kind of see it with a further remake down the line, but we don't see megas, or we see megas in this game. They bring back megas into the next gen, which is crazy.
Wait, into what?
Sun and Moon has megas.
Sun and Moon or Sun and Moon?
Both Ultra Sun and Moon.
Oh,
They
whoa,
both do.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's in
that.
post game. Yeah, once you get, I'm pretty sure it's like right when you complete post game, they give you the Mega Bracelet. There's no new ones, but you can
Yeah.
at least Mega Evolve the Pokemon that can,
Okay.
which is something that you don't really see. So like, while I didn't like the Z moves at all, but I can appreciate that someone at Nintendo probably saw like, oh yeah, the Z moves kind of suck. Let's bring back Megas for this. Yeah, I don't know. I think it fights with Gen 3. I think it's right there with Gen 3. It's I don't know. I like the environments a lot. It's very pretty. I mean, like Hawaii.
I think it's
cool.
worse than Gen 3.
You think?
But I don't know. I mean, I didn't play it, so it's really hard for me to say.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to say, but like my nostalgia factor in Gen 3, like I can't let it happen.
Yeah, I would put it personally right below Gen 3 because I played it and it was a Pokemon game. It was good, but
Would you put it above Fire Red and Leaf Green? Or above X and Y? Because my initial instinct is above X and Y. And below Fire Red and Leaf Green.
I think I agree with that. I think I do.
I could
For
be fine with that.
replayability's sake. Yeah, I think.
Right there.
Ye-
High B.
Yeah. That works.
Okay, now Ultra. I have no comment. I know
it's
nothing
just
about
better.
Ultra.
They added,
I have
that's
no
when they
comment
added
either.
like Ultra Beast storyline, and that's literally it. So it's just better.
So where?
Right above.
This is all
Sun
up
and
to
Moon.
you guys.
Right above Sun and Moon.
Still believe Fire Red and Leaf Green?
Yeah. Whether that's A or B, that's your call. I don't really care. But it's just like slightly better.
Okay, I
They
trust
added
you.
new stuff. Yeah.
Zig in chat says S.
Zig's been saying like half these games should be S.
It's
just loves
really
Pokemon,
good, but
man.
it's not S.
Zig has
yeah.
put all of the ones that are like all of the ones that are somewhat old, all in like C and B,
Yeah,
and
Zig's age is
everything
showing
else in
right
S
now.
and A.
Let me be clear. Ultra Sun and Moon were not
me be
way
clear.
better. They added like a little bit more story. There was a new boss fight, and they added like a handful of new Ultra Beasts, and that's quite literally it. It was probably, if I had to be honest, in terms of like marketing, it was the biggest disappointment in Pokemon history, in my opinion. Because what you do is you release Sun and Moon, then a year later, you make the new version that has like, it's not like a new legendary or anything. They just introduce, I guess technically Necrozma is a new legendary, but it's the one that we knew about. And it doesn't
Or
play like that
Ultra Beasts
significant of a
aren't
role.
legendaries though, are they?
I'm not talking about Ultra Beast. I'm talking about Necrozma.
Is it Necrozma and Ultra Beast?
I don't think so. It's directly connected, but it's not. I don't believe.
Oh, okay.
It's a legendary that it's basically like in that picture they fuse with the box
Yeah,
art of the
yeah,
series,
yeah.
and that's quite literally like the entire thing. But yeah, I think it's definitely better than Sun and Moon just because it adds more content and it's a little bit more of like it feels a little bit more serious, and they do like a couple of visual changes. But other than that, like it was definitely just a cash grab because they wanted to make a third game like they always do, but they were like, oh, what if we just called it Ultra? And it was literally a year later. So
Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that. Is everybody cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Eevee. Let's go Pikachu. They were
F
fun,
minus,
but
terrible,
Yeah.
terrible
they
games.
like how can you even consider this mainline?
They were the worst Pokemon games I ever played. I never finished them.
I did like
F
Pokemon
minus.
in the overworld. I didn't finish it
That's
either, but
cool.
I thought it was like a fun little like gimmick game. Like it should have been like a free game, you know?
Yeah, it was
Real.
just Kanto, but worse. That's my problem with it. It wasn't like a new region where they're like trying to do silly stuff. They just took like Fire Red Leaf Green and took away held items. Like that was like a core thing.
Yeah, it's just
Forever,
it honestly just felt like a free game.
Yeah,
It felt
and
like,
that's what it was.
hey,
They
take
were
out
trying
this
to get
take out this game, like play this game so we can learn more information, like see how
Mhm.
this works, and then go forward from there. It should have been a free game.
Yeah. And I can appreciate it because there are like some cute moments, like the little cutscenes you have with Pikachu or Eevee, I think
Yeah.
is very cute. But that should have just been something that was included in the next game.
Yeah, it was also a huge game to just be like, hey, Eevee's also our mascot now.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I appreciate. I'm a Eevee stan, but
Too.
Okay, Sword and Shield. I have really mixed feelings about Sword and Shield.
okay.
I think that the story is absolute dog water horseshit. I think that the
Mhm.
story in Sword and Shield is not good.
hmm
I think there's a lot of fun elements in the game. I think the legendaries suck. I think Eternatus is okay, but also he doesn't make any sense. I don't really care for any of the characters in the game that much. I think it's like C tier. Like low C.
I think that's where I differ, man. Because I agree, like it's not good, but you kind of have to have a filter of like it's modern one. So all of these games, like suck in the same way that like they're not visually interesting. Some of the, story elements are a little bit dumb. I think personally, I'd put it like either above or below X and Y.
What?
Where I'd put it hands down.
Other
And that's me being
opinions?
honest. There's too much to do in the game, and they tried new elements. They do new fun things. Like in terms of like fun factor, playtime, the amount of stuff you can do, like I'd play that over any Gen 1 or Gen 2.
I think it goes just above silver and gold.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's on the same level as X and Y. It's like to me, it feels like X and Y because it's like the introduction of a new like generation,
True,
basically,
Brock.
where they're like X and Y was the transition to 3D. This was the transition
Hi,
of like,
Joe.
are we able to do open world stuff? We're gonna test that. It felt again like a very test game in the same way that X and Y felt like a test game.
Yeah, but I
think
felt
it's
like
on the
it
same
under
level.
delivered on everything.
I think the internet hype killed it for you, and I think that's like a genuine problem now with like modern Pokemon is we're talking too much about these games before they
I
even
guess.
come
I
out.
mean, I played the entirety of Sword and Shield, right? And I
Mhm.
haven't done that. I hadn't done that since I hadn't played the entirety of a Pokemon game since Oras at this point.
Mhm.
And I played
Sure.
through the whole thing, and nothing stood out to me except for Pokeball Guy.
That was a good element. I don't know.
Nothing stood out to me.
I think they just tried a lot of stuff. I'm not saying it's like great. That's why it's under X and Y, which
Yeah.
is also dog shit.
I actually want to. I do want to take one thing back. I do like the start of the game.
Oh, yeah, like how you run into the legendary and it's like, what's that?
Yeah, I really do enjoy like the start of the game. It's different. Obviously, Scarlet and Violet were also different, right? But
Mhm.
it's different. I think the way that you first come across, like your first like what is it, like 20, 30 minutes of the game are pretty awesome for Pokemon. Like I was so hooked. And then I started exploring and going off on things myself and going on routes, and I was like, wow, this is not aged well, even though it was a new game. I guess you're right. It was very much a transition era. Very, very much so. I still feel like Pokemon is in somewhat of a transition era. But
Mhm.
I feel like this was like Let's Go, like the Let's Go games, very transitional, trying new stuff out, trying to figure out how it would work. It just is like it just didn't land for me at all. It's definitely worse than X and Y. I feel
Mhm.
like it's worse than Gen 2 too.
For Gen 2 for me, it just felt like here it is. And that's just a limitation of like where they
Yeah,
were at in
I think you're
development.
right. I think I'm blinded by the nostalgia factor here.
I mean, you just have to look at them side by side and just say, like, as a video game, with the
Yeah.
amount of stuff you can do, with a lot of the visual design, like, overall, it is a better game. I agree that, like, yeah, you may have the thought that, like, I would rather be playing Gen 2, but, I mean, as a game, I think it's just better.
I think you're right. I think it's the nostalgia factor because I love Lugia. I really like Gen 2. Like I like all of the Pokemon designs. I enjoy the games, not as much as like they're low for a reason. I enjoy the
Mhm.
other ones more, you know?
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it's mostly a nostalgia factor because I go back. If I went and emulated like Gold and Silver right now, I feel so much nostalgia just because I played the fuck out of Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Right, but that's my
But
point
it
exactly, like,
doesn't make it
as
a
a
better
video
game.
game. Yeah, the reason that you're seeing nostalgia specifically for that game is because you played the better version,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
this is
You're
like,
right.
"Haha, retro."
I
So it's like
I did play. I'd never played Crystal. All I know about
I
Crystal is that
did,
it's
but
worse than
yeah,
regular Gen 2.
right.
Um I did play the first and second gens on like a website I found when I was a kid
Mhm,
that was just like hosting them. So I did
right,
play through all of them. But yeah, Heart Gold and Soul Silver is where like my passion for Gen 2 comes from. And that's just a fundamentally much better game.
right,
So I think you're right.
mhm,
Um what is this? BDSP?
yeah.
Mhm.
Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
Yeah. I didn't play it. Well, I did buy it. I played
Mhm,
about 30 minutes. I said I'm not playing this shit and I didn't play it.
yeah. So, as someone who got, like, halfway through the game, I felt the same way. Um, it's just worst Diamond
Yeah.
and Pearl.
Yeah,
Um
100% agreed.
It's
As
the
someone,
same. Go for it.
I was gonna say, as someone who did play the game, it's horrible the whole way through.
I mean, like, what's wrong with it? Like, what's
Well,
your
so you start with the running shoes in this one, right?
right?
Okay.
And immediately out of if you leave the area, they still have what the original sign that says you got to go to the town to get the running shoes. They
Wait,
literally
really?
forgot to remove that. Like there's so little care of polish put into it at all.
Mhm.
Uh, and again, like they use the same tree sprite everywhere and stuff. Like if this is supposed to be an
It just
updated
felt
one,
like a
let's make
straight
the
up
graph.
cash grab.
Yeah, it was just a cash
Yeah.
grab. Nothing was better really.
I guess
Yeah.
that's my point
They spent 5
exactly.
minutes
Like,
making it.
yeah. I mean, they just took Diamond and Pearl, they made it 3D and called it a day. And And I guess my biggest gripe with the game is like you had a lot of the changes from Platinum, and you didn't include them here because this was made by a third party. This wasn't Game Freak, Pokemon Company. This was someone else that had it
Yeah.
on, and they just gave them Diamond and Pearl and said remake this, and that's what they did. Um, so yeah, I think it's definitely below. I'd say it's like
Would you?
it's
Okay,
somewhere in with Sun, Moon, X, Y, and
I want to
Surgeon.
trust. I want to trust Chris on this. Chris, where would you place this?
Um, I mean, just D. But I think even below Let's Go
Really?
because with Let's Go it was just a bad game design, but they like tried. I think
Yeah,
with this they didn't try,
but it was just
and that
completely
hurts.
butchered.
Yeah,
Well, I guess my argument here, though, right, is like they didn't try, but it's the same story, gameplay, and elements of Diamond and Platinum, or
Yeah, but
Diamond.
isn't it just Diamond and Platinum but shit? It's not like any of these other
Even
games are the other games but shit. They're just like the other games but not as good.
right, and I'm not saying that they're better, but I don't know if that makes them like so astronomically worse. It's just like, oh yeah, I would rather have the pixel art style with the original polish, and like
my
that's
my issue with that is we already spent $60 to get the new things that they brought. This is like I don't know. I feel like this. I consider this almost next to nothing because even if it is the same game, it's like I already spent $60 on that game, right? Like you didn't.
right,
I understand where you're coming from. This, like it's the same game, so technically it should be about the same rank. But I don't know. Again, I just can't get over like the cash grab, the how little they cared. They didn't add anything new. Yeah, it's exactly what Bro said in chat. It's just a port. It's not a remake, and they advertise it as a remake.
Yeah,
right, yeah, and I completely agree with that. But I guess I'm trying to look at it from like
a
regardless
gameplay
of like
perspective.
how like if I was a kid who was playing all these games for the first time, and like if I was given this before I was given the original Diamond and Pearl, would I think that it's so astronomically worse than Diamond and Pearl if I went and played it? I don't know if I would, but
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I kind of agree with Chris on this because you have to compare the original games with the remakes. You have to. Like that's how you can compare them,
Right,
you know?
and I am.
And if you're comparing like BDSP with regular Brilliant and regular Diamond and Pearl, then it's just that game but absolute dog water piss shit.
I don't think it's absolute dog water piss shit though. I think it's just a port.
I thought it was like when I played it through, I didn't feel the magic anymore. And if we're going by your logic, I'm willing to put it above Let's Go, but it's still D tier because I if it just didn't feel like there was any magic in it.
I guess that's fair. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna like argue over something like that, but
Okay. I
I,
think I'm satisfied with putting it in D. I think we're going to still change some stuff after this, so let's just stick with that for now. Legends Arceus. Okay, I have to be honest. Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet. I never played. I never played either of them. I only played some of Legends Arceus on like Trace's Switch.
mhm.
I never actually played the game myself, but I did watch. I did watch a playthrough of Legends Arceus, but it doesn't like like I don't have strong emotions or feelings about the story about anything really.
Okay. I think okay. So Legends Arceus is hard to rank in these games because it's so different fundamentally.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I will say because it was fresh and because it was doing stuff, it was probably one of my favorite Pokemon games ever. Um that being said, like looking at these games side by side, I don't know if they're necessarily like a ton better. Um I don't know, I remember, like, nights of, like, grinding out, looking for shinies or, like, talking to Snormax about, like, "Oh, I found this here, blah, 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 blah." I think it was a good attempt at, like, looking into can we do an open world? There's a lot of mechanics that I wish they brought over to, Scarlet and Violet whenever that dropped. It's a disappointment that they didn't. Um, I liked them a lot. I I don't know where I'd rank it, though.
Should we put it in its own separate category?
I don't know if
I
you should
think we
do
could keep
that.
it in. We just got to
Okay.
think
Yeah.
about it a little.
Snormax?
I thought Arceus could have been. I think Arceus
Mm,
could be A. It could be B. It can't be S because it
I
was their
agree.
first attempt and they dropped the ball in a lot of areas.
hmm
From what I've seen of it, I think it is below X and Y.
I hard disagree.
that no.
You think it's better than X and Y?
I think
Yeah.
it's better than Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Huh? Wait, did I
There
say
are some.
I'm so stupid. I said X and Y. Um,
Diamond and Pearl.
yeah, I think no. I think it is. I think it is below. From what I've seen of it, I think it is below Black and White. I can't think. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I think it is
that's
below
fair.
Black and White.
I think when if you're looking at this as a list of Pokemon games, I think like Black and White 2, Heart Gold, like all the way down to Black and White, or even down to like Diamond and Pearl, like those are just good Pokemon games, and I think it definitely fits somewhere like high A for me.
Yeah,
I think it's above Diamond and Pearl, below Black and White.
yeah,
Yeah.
because Platinum is still yeah.
Dude, the
I think that's
Garatina boss
good.
fight in this game. Oh my god, one of the coolest moments in Pokemon.
I have no strong opinions. I don't have negative or positive opinions. I just don't have any emotional attachment to this game.
Yeah. If there's anything you look up for this game, like viewers or anyone who hasn't played it, like look up the final boss fight with Garatina because it is
Mhm.
like something that's so cool and god, it's good.
Okay, so there, are we satisfied with below X and I mean, oh my gosh, below Black and White?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it after, Brock. Okay, Scarlet and Violet. Also, from what I've seen, okay. I tried watching playthroughs of Scarlet and Violet and I couldn't get through it. I think that the opening is really cool and strong. It kind of reminds me of like a better opening to Sword and Shield. Like I know they're very different openings, but I just mean different, like they're different for Pokemon games. You know what I mean? And I think if we're comparing different for Pokemon games, it's better than those.
Mhm.
But I don't know enough else about the game to make any like strong standpoints.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, see what I've been telling you about this game is I love the way they did the story. I will say like the beginning and middle is pretty slow. But once you get into the story and you start like interacting with the characters more and you start talking to them, and then these three stories kind of come together for one final story, is really good. Um, and they do a lot right. There's a lot that they changed with like the open world format that they attempted with like Sword and Shield. It was definitely improved on a ton. Um, there's a lot of really cool stuff in this game. However, you have to keep in mind if we're ranking these as like a video game, like the performance, a lot of the visuals, a lot of that kind of stuff that it got review bombed for are very valid critiques for it. Like it does run like dog shit. It is ugly at times. But I think when you're talking like region, the Pokemon they introduce, the characters they introduce, like I think I'm going to be attached to a lot of the characters a lot more than I would in even like half of the characters in Black and White. Like I care about a lot of these characters a lot more than in other games. Um, so I don't know. It's a tough thing to call because like as a generation and as a story, I think it's got to be one of my favorites of all time. But as a game, it's pretty lacking.
Chris?
I mean, yeah, I'm on the same page. It's like they needed to wait till like the next Switch console kind of vibes. So
Mhm.
they kill. Oh, that makes it really hard to rank because there's like part of it that's worth being S tier and part of it that's worth being D tier.
I think include both of them. You know, how much does do the S factors outweigh the D factors for you? You know? Or how much do the D factors outweigh the S factors? Like where is the balance in that for you?
I don't know.
Snormax?
Yeah, I want to hear other opinions on that.
If I had to weight like that, I'd probably put it around the top A area. Maybe mid A.
I'm kind of on board there.
I could see that.
Where in
I'm
top A?
personally
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
no. It's where in top A would you go, Snormax?
And Mason, both of you guys.
Right.
Well, for me, I think I'd put it. It's definitely above Ultra Sun and Moon. I think the replayability of Gen 3 and even like Fire Red Leaf Green makes it a hard thing to fight. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's either like right above Emerald or right below Fire Red Leaf Green. Like I kind of see those 3 or those 4 games as like almost one. Like the entirety of Gen 3 is just really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of I don't know if it's better than ORAS.
I think from what I've seen, like again, take all of my opinions about these games with a grain of salt for the ones that I haven't played. But this is where I would probably place it. Not there. There.
That's what I was thinking.
I feel like it's really hard to split up like Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire though. 'Cause
Emerald,
there are
Emerald's better.
improvements. I agree
Emerald's
that
better.
it is better, but is it like that much better that you would throw an entire game between
I
them?
have too much
Right, that's
nostalgia
fair.
factor. So I have to put I can't let it be separate. Like I can't let Scarlet and Violet be above my Emerald. I just can't. But that's a personal thing.
I'm personally super biased for games when it comes to like performance stuff
Mhm.
and like visuals. So I'm down to move it a little lower still. I'm totally down.
I'm open to that. Yeah, it just sucks because like as a Pokemon game, it's really good, but yeah, the performance and visuals are just
Is there
not.
still has it been patched? Does it still run like shit?
There's been updates, but you're still talking about the Switch, so
Right,
there's
Yeah.
only
exactly.
so
So it's
much they
just it
can
just
do.
comes down to hardware limitations. Like the
It's
things that they wanted to get
hardware
away with, they
and
just couldn't get away with.
yeah, that's genuinely what I think. It's hardware, and then also just like it really seems like Pokemon kind of knows that people will buy anything. I think if you gave
Mhm.
them like another 2 years to like really optimize it and think about like, okay, do we need this here? Could we change this so that it looks better? Blah 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 blah. I think it could run better and look better, but yeah, I think it really does come down to like if you gave them a more powerful console, the stuff they could do could be insane.
I think this is a good placement for it because I think after the DLC, if we included the DLC as a part of Scarlet and Violet, it would probably go up.
Maybe.
Maybe the
You know?
DLC is looking pretty lacking. I'm not gonna lie.
I like how the DLC looks.
I just don't know.
But I'm a sucker for like not DLC in general, but Pokemon game. Like when I see Pokemon game and then I see Pokemon game but more, I'm just like, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm cool with that ranking.
Yeah.
Okay, I do think there's some things we need to move around.
Yeah,
I
we need
would
some
let's-
B tiers in here.
Let's start at the bottom.
I'd
I
bump
think-
Gen 2 through 1 down to C
Yeah.
100%
to
agree.
start.
100% agree. I also think that I feel like this should go low C. I don't feel
I'm
like it deserves
so against that.
D. Really? Why?
Yeah, I just I can't get over the fact. I guess my issue is that I'm metagaming in the fact that Mesa was saying we gotta talk about the game, but they re-released the exact same game, but honestly worse. Uh, there's less like care and there's less like again the sprites are all the exact same. Literally, the original had more uniqueness in the sprites than this did.
Yeah.
It's just silly that they're re-releasing a game for the full $60 price tag and making it worse. I just can't. I could never put it above D.
Okay.
But again,
If
Mason's
everybody's
argument
in
also
favor of that, then I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm cool with that just because I hate the Pokemon Company at times, and that's definitely one time that I wanted to fucking throw my Switch out the window. So
I think
Yeah.
how Brock put it was the best. It probably is C tier, but just in comparison to what already exists, just puts a sour taste in everyone's mouth. I think that's
Yeah.
true. I think that I agree with Zig. I think some of the A's can move down to B. Jasper's climbing on my set of big
Yeah, for example, I don't think Ultra Sun and Moon is that much better
Yeah,
than
I think it should go
Sun and
here.
Moon.
I think Fire Red and Leaf Green should also be high B.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't think you put Ruby and Sapphire down
I
because
don't think I put it down either.
I genuinely believe that if you went and looked at the differences between Emerald and Ruby Sapphire, you would be shocked at how little there actually is.
Yeah,
There's like a little bit more content, just the same way that there's like a little bit more content in Ultra Sun and Moon over Sun and
yeah.
Moon. Yeah,
I
that's
kind of want to move Diamond and Pearl down.
really.
I kind of like taking away the nostalgia factor, right? I think I enjoyed Oras more.
I can see that argument, but I think this is also a case where like Platinum added the distortion world and then some like extra little things.
But the
So
distortion world was like peak Pokemon.
and I agree, it is a lot better and it makes the game a lot better, but I don't know if like the distance between those two games is that far.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Okay, one other thing. Let me know how you guys think. Just let me know how you guys think.
You know, that's what I think, but that's on you.
Opinions?
Wait, sorry, I didn't see what you changed there.
I changed Black and White 2 from highest in the S to lowest in the S.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that.
I think Platinum's better, and I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver is probably nearing peak Pokemon.
Yeah.
I honestly, I truly believe that we haven't received the best mainline Pokemon game yet. I
Yeah,
truly
mean,
believe that there's going to be a time, like within the next 5 to 10 years, where the best mainline Pokemon game it will be released.
I'm telling you right now, if Scarlet and Violet didn't have the problems and they had like
Right.
maybe another year to flesh out stuff that they wanted to,
Yeah.
it would be way better than any game on this list.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's what
game.
I'm saying though. That's what I'm
But
saying.
that-
Like that will happen. I have faith. I'm holding
I
on.
don't.
It's a hard thing to have.
I'm
because
holding
it-
on.
I think we were nearing peak Pokemon, but also this just how the video game industry works. And again, like Mason said earlier, Pokemon knows people will just buy stuff. They don't care. So the issue is, if they don't care, they'll never give them enough time to like cook up what Scarlet and Violet could have been.
Right, because Scarlet and Violet was like one of the best-selling games on the Switch, and there were glaring, obvious problems with it. So they know,
Yeah.
like, okay, if we could just release a game every 2-3 years, people are going to buy it. So why take the time? Like, if it was my way, I'd give them 5 to 6 years to work on a new Pokemon game. I'd want the entire national
Oh,
dex.
I think
want-
everybody would agree with you. I think everybody would agree with you.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But I still believe that like the things that I've seen in Arceus, like Legends Arceus, and the things that I've seen in Scarlet and Violet, it's just like everything can come together to make a goddamn amazing game. I feel like it's possible. I feel like we're just not there yet.
Give us a new console, and we'll see what happens.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would 100% have to be on a new
Yeah.
console. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
tough right now.
if you had
Yeah.
Scarlet Violet on the PS5, we're chilling.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we feel about the tier list? How does everybody feel?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
forget-
looking at everything. I still no. I was gonna say maybe Sword and Shield above X and Y, but then I thought more. I thought about all the mechanics of X and Y, and I like them so much more than Sword and Shield's mechanics.
Mhm.
Like the mechanics introduced in Sword and Shield.
Mhm.
I just don't care for Dynamaxing.
Yeah, I definitely
There you go.
spent more time in Sword and Shield. I think it's just because I was more into Pokemon at the time. Like, again, like I came back into the games. I quit whenever I finished Black and White because I was like, "Oh, I'm too old to be playing Pokemon." And then I like a month after ORAS released, and I saw that opening sequence. I'm like, I really want that. So I bought a 3DS, and I played through that. And I played through X and Y, but I played through X and Y as a means of getting to ORAS. So
Yeah.
I felt like really rushed through it. But I agree, it does feel kind of like baby mode Pokemon compared to
What,
some
X
other
and
stuff.
Y?
X and Y does.
Yeah, it
So,
does feel like baby mode Pokemon.
but I also feel like Sword and Shield was kind of in this again. Like I think those two games are transitional games. I think they're on the same level.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to do the same thing where it's like let's test the waters with a new format
Yeah.
and go with it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm satisfied with this list. I need everybody to say, I am satisfied. Snormax,
I am so okay.
I am
Thanks.
satisfied.
Mason,
I am satisfied.
Chris.
I am satisfied.
Okay, awesome. Joe, I don't give a fuck if you're not satisfied. You're not
Well,
even
it's time
watching
to
the
the chain
stream. You
tracks.
only have the audio on. Okay, guys, want to play Fortnite?
I'll play like one more.